What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now, I want to give you an update on Solana, not only just its price, but what its ecosystem's looking like, some recent news, and much more. I've been really doing these just general Solana updates and letting you guys know how it's doing as a whole, and if you guys do enjoy them, of course, please do let me know down in the comments below. That would be super helpful. But with that in mind, guys, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. So looking at Solana here, what we can see is that, again, its price has started to make a beautiful move that we've been talking about in the last video. You know, in the last video that I made, I said, listen, what you really need to pay the most attention to is if Solana is capable of truly being able to break out from this zone in which it had been stuck under. You know, of course, we had this previous point of resistance right here. We had this previous point of resistance right here. And I said, look, although this looks great, mind you, we were right here. I said, although this looks great, let's make sure that on the dailies, right, we get a daily close above this zone. Maybe we even start to look to back test it. You know, throughout the weekend, we still hold up above this thing. And if that is the case, now we can really say that step 1 and step 2 is complete. Now it's just time to clear step 3, which is the 618 to 786 zone. And then at that point, the door is now wide open for a move to $275 to $300. And well, what you can see here is that from a price perspective, Solana is actually looking pretty damn good. It cleared this zone pretty convincingly, and now it has gotten the confirmed breakout of this little red box, of course, which were these previous points of support. And of course, we did not flip them into resistance. We cleared them to the top side. So that's all beautiful. Now, at this given point, obviously, I told you all in the last video, I'm still not buying Solana. I don't think now is the best time. The reason being is just because, one, from a MACD perspective, you can see momentum slowing down a little bit. But even from a grand perspective, you can see that we're still within this major point of resistance. And this is going to be a zone that is going to give us problems. I don't think we're just going to go straight up through it. I think there's a good likelihood that maybe we have to consolidate or backtest or just whatever. Have to do a lot of stuff to be able to get through this zone. And so because of that, obviously, I'm not really in the rush to buy it right now. You guys know we were buying a lot of Solana towards the bottom side here, all up and down this little thing right here, a lot of this and a lot of this, and even a little bit right here. And so because of that, those buys are looking good. Our average cost on the channel, or my personal average cost at least, is about $31.4 right now. And so because of that, I'm really not all too concerned with doing a lot of accumulating while Solana is sitting in a massive point of resistance. Okay, and so from a price perspective, I definitely think that there is a lot of upside potential, but I think it's going to take us a little while to get through this zone. And so because of that, I'm not in a rush to buy right here. Maybe if we see Solana backtest some of these levels and look to hold some support, then maybe that's the point in time in which I will be looking to accumulate. But as of now, I am pausing on my buying. Now, from a news perspective, we have been seeing a lot of good news, and from a the ecosystem perspective, we've also been seeing a lot of good news as well. So I'll kind of start with the news. So looking at the Phantom wallet, actually let's save the news for later because I'm going to go on a tangent about that. Let's go into the ecosystem for a second because this will be quicker. So what you can see here is the ecosystem is thriving again, which is absolutely beautiful. I mean, what you can see here is at the peak, we saw TVL get up to, let's go ahead and call it 4.89 billion. We're currently sitting at 4.69 billion, meaning that this year, or where we are right now, is almost at the peak of where we were when the ecosystem was doing its absolute best. And that was around the time where, you know, all of your meme coins, all of your big ones, everything was happening on Solana before that initial wave of congestion happened. And so because of that, considering the fact that it seems as if Solana's price, or not price, but ecosystemic TVL, or total value locked, is almost to a point in which it's in you know, some sort of price discovery, or, you know, range discovery, right? It just goes to show me that its ecosystem is still thriving. And even in these moments in which the market's not looking the best, right? We're just going sideways, we're not doing well, it's still capable of growing. And if this thing can hit a new yearly high before Bitcoin's price itself hits a yearly high, I mean, that's huge. That's massive. And the reason why it's so important is because it's showing that Solana's ecosystem is growing and even outpacing the market. And that is what's going to be able to get us to the next level. That's what's going to get Solana up to that $600-700 mark, like I've been telling you all, I think it's going to. And I do think that that's absolutely phenomenal. Overall, 24 hours have looked amazing. Stablecoins market cap's in at 3.17 billion, not bad. Of course, you can see here that fees been generating really well, over 7 figures in fees on a pretty consistent basis. Revenue around 634,000 just in the last 24 hours, which is insane. 1.18 billion 24-hour volume, absolutely smashing it. The ecosystem's looking beautiful, and the fact that, again, we're nearly at a new yearly high here, absolutely insane. I mean, when you look at Solana's price, although it's approaching, it's not that close, right? So it just goes to show that Solana's ecosystem itself is even outpacing Solana's price itself, which is crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been some absolute crazy things going on within the ecosystem recently. Dude, I invested into, I'll show you actually, one sec. Look, let me show you. I invested into one while it was in its pre-sale, and viewer discretion is purely advised. because there are some wild things on this website. I'm just going to warn you, my goal is to not care so much what I'm looking at, more like what I'm making money in, okay? But there's this one crazy ass crypto called Gently Used Girl. I get it, I know, absolutely nuts. And what you can see here is that it's about as degen as you can possibly imagine. It does not get more degen than this. But they did do a very good job of turning the degeneracy of the crypto market and the Solana narrative into a very, very ridiculous meme coin that did really well, especially within its pre-sale phase. What you can see here is they do have some super rare NFTs in which they did mint some out and of course help them raise funds. They are absolutely insane NFTs, as you can clearly see here. I don't even need to tell you what these say. You can go ahead and see them there. And you might say, well, this is just a ridiculous meme coin. There's no way that this does well. I mean, you can go look at SolPad. This thing raised nearly 1,300 Solana, guys. That's over $200,000 within its pre-sale phase prior to its launch. Now, its launch itself has not gone the absolute best. If we do go out, I think it's down here. Yeah, if we do go out, its launch hasn't done the absolute best, but I still think that there is room for recovery. It's down a little bit right now, but as you can see, once it did get that initial sell-off, it's been extremely sideways and extremely stable, and it's been staying with the range quite a bit, right? And so, generally speaking, when cryptos do this, all it takes is like an extra boost. All it takes is them running a marketing campaign or something like that to really get it off the ground. And considering the thing's at 42,000 liquidity, 188,000 market cap, 395 holders, it's so tiny that obviously it's a high risk, but it could be one of those ones that pops up to $1 million market cap. And then obviously people from now are making, 4, 5, 6X's. And so because of that, this is what I'm talking about, right? The fact that cryptos like this could even, be in the ballpark to still possibly go for a run, go on a move, be able to raise over 1,300 Solana just goes to show where the Solana ecosystem is right now. There's a ton of liquidity, a ton of money moving around, a ton of investors, a ton of degens, and those are all of the things that will generally get something enough FOMO and enough hype to really be able to run. And again, that's a part of the mixture that I think is going to be able to get Solana up to something like 600, 700 bucks. Now, overall, if we do talk about the news, as I mentioned before, we're also still getting good news from a more outside of the ecosystem perspective. What you can see here is that the Phantom wallet itself climbs as the Apple Store in the Apple Store charts. Now, what you can see, let's go here, is that the Phantom wallet is the third top utilities app, so I'm bullish on crypto and Solana. It comes after the Phantom wallet recently clocked 7 million monthly active users, according to the April 29th post on X. The crypto community usually sees the increase in any crypto wallet application's monthly users as an indicator of broad adoption. And I personally can attest to this. I've actually, for the first time recently, had people asking me what Solana was, what the Phantom app was. And these are people that aren't like super well versed within the world of crypto. Now, they're not absolute noobs. These were people who kind of like have talked about it before. I've heard them mention it before around the gym or wherever it may be, but they actually said, like, Tyler, like, why do you like Solana so much, right? Or should I download the Phantom app? Or like, how can I make money on the Phantom app? Like, questions that don't necessarily make the most sense, but it is a good sign because it just goes to show that as the Phantom app or that Solana or that the Solana ecosystem or Solana meme coins, whatever it may be, continue to grow and continue to develop throughout time, they're getting more and more eyes on them. And that's the type of mass adoption that gets Solana where we think it's going to go. And so because of that, I think these types of things are absolutely fantastic news. I think the news that we got last week was absolutely amazing. And so I think that Solana is in one of the best places that it's ever been. And because of that, obviously, it makes me incredibly even more bullish. And so, yes, because of that, obviously, I still do have my thesis. I still do expect Solana can hit $600, $700 at some point. And because of that, I will continue to, update you guys every single day, every other day, as we have been doing for years at this point. We're 3 years deep talking about Solana multiple times a week. So if you do enjoy the content, if you do find it valuable, please do let me know down in the comments below. And you can also drop a like on this video if you want more people to see it. But with that in mind, of course, that is going to be it for today's video. I do have 2 more loaded, I think. So make sure you do stay around for those. And I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.